What's up, everyone? Today we're going to talk about my formula for the perfect bodybuilder. All right, now this formula is based on measurements. All right, and this is something I've had this in my head since I was a little kid, not a little kid, maybe my teenage years. And let's start with the waist. All right, so let's say, for sake of argument, the waist, well, my waist, let's talk about my waist. My waist is 34 inches. Now that is in pulling my waist in, kind of thinking about when you're on stage in your bodybuilder position and you're holding your waist in tight, you're pulling your stomach in. That's where you're gonna measure your waist, when it's nice and tight and pulled in. Not necessarily an insane vacuum, you know, where you're hunched over, just, you know, standing up straight and sucking that waist in, 34 inches. So that's where we're gonna start. We have a 34-inch waist, right? Now, let's talk about the shoulders. The shoulder to waist taper, right? In my head, the perfect scenario would be to have shoulders double the circumference of your waist. So to have a 34-inch waist and have 68-inch round shoulder measurement, to me would be fucking insane. Insane, right? Now, does anyone out there have that? It's gonna be questionable. Again, that's a very difficult, you know, very difficult to achieve that, to attain that. Shoulders twice the width of the waist. But in my head, that would be the perfect bodybuilder. Now, let's talk about the legs. So the waist is 34. Now I'm gonna say the legs would be exactly the same measurement as the waist. 34-inch waist, 34-inch quads. To me, that's fucking perfection. Imagine seeing that on stage, quads the size of the waist. Is that possible? Yes, it's possible. Do a lot of bodybuilders have that? No, it's very, this formula is very difficult to attain. It's nearly impossible. And that's why I call it the perfect bodybuilder physique, because not many people could ever achieve this. And few have, in my opinion. So now let's talk about the arms, all right? To get the arms, what you do is it's 2/3 of your waist measurement. 2/3 of your waist. So 34-inch waist, you're gonna multiply 34 times 0.66, that's 2/3, and basically the number is 22.44, right? So that's 22 3/4. That's how big the arms are. So you got a guy with 34-inch waist, 22 3/4 arms, which are monstrous arms, and 34-inch quads and 68-inch wide shoulders, twice the width of the waist, right? Now you tell me, is this the fucking most unbelievable, perfect bodybuilder physique? Definitely. Now, talk about the calves. The calves are gonna be the same size as the arms. In my opinion, the calves should be the same exact size as the arms. When you're looking at a bodybuilder on stage, I believe the arms and calves being the same measurement is perfection. So the calves would be 22 3/4. And I think this would be insane. Now, forearms. This is where people are gonna disagree with me, because I am a big forearm advocate. I think forearms are a super important muscle. They're not judged on the bodybuilding stage. A lot of people don't train them, and a lot of people really don't give a fuck about forearms. Now, I think forearms are very important muscle, and it's one of my favorite body parts. So for me, the ideal, most insane, perfect, huge forearms would be forearms the size of your neck. Now, a lot of people say, like, what the fuck, that's impossible. No, it's not impossible. And again, imagine a guy with forearms the size of his neck. It's pretty fucking unbelievable. And visually, it's pretty insane. Now, my neck size is right below 18 inches. And that's a small neck for a guy my size. And I used to have, one time, I had a 21 3/4 inch neck, which was huge, and I think it looked like shit. You know, I had no neck. It was just basically a head on top of my traps. So, you know, my body has changed enormously, which is, you know, again, people know, the physique I'm trying to attain now is totally different than what a bodybuilder would want to attain, or a lot of other people would want to attain. I have my own, you know, basically vision of how I want to look. So anyway, enough about fucking me. Let's get back to this formula. So imagine 34-inch waist, 34-inch legs, 68-inch wide shoulders, 22 3/4 inch arms, 22 3/4 inch calves, and depending on the neck size, let's say 34 inch waist, let's say 18 inch neck, 18 inch forearms. That's fucking insanity. In my opinion, if I could pick the perfect bodybuilder, that would be the measurements right there. To me, it's insane. Now, let's talk about bodybuilders that have attained this. Is there any bodybuilders out there who have ever attained this kind of freakiness? Now, the first one that comes to my mind is Paul Dillette. Paul Dillette definitely had the physique that would fit this formula, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You know, he had the tiny waist, fucking wide as fucking shoulders you can imagine, huge arms, huge forearms, calves are fucking out of this world. I would say Paul Dillette comes to my mind of being the perfect example of this formula. He's the only one that just pops in my head, and it's like, Paul Dillette. That's Paul. I just described Paul Dillette. Now, another one that comes to mind is Sergio Olivier, back in the 70s, you know, competing in the Arnold days. Another one, tiny, tiny waist, and, you know, huge arms, wide shoulders, huge calves. Sergio Olivier is another person that definitely could have matched up to this formula. Now, others that I believe are close would be Flex Wheeler, Lee Priest. You know, I think his calves might not have been as big as his arms, but I could be wrong. Lee Priest, I would say his shoulder width might not have been as wide, double as circumference as his waist. I could be wrong though, but as far as the quads and the arms and the waist, definitely everything else matched up. Lee Priest probably had quads bigger than his waist when he was in contest shape. You know, just fucking insanity. So anyway, that's my opinion of the formula for the perfect bodybuilder. So just for fun, measure your waist and see where you match up, and imagine what you look like if you did have those measurements according to the formula. And you would imagine, you'd see that it'd be pretty fucking amazing. So again, another thing is this formula is only gonna work on someone who's lean, who's close to contest shape, you know, because we hold more fat on our waist than we do anywhere else. So you're gonna have to be in relatively good shape to be able to even make sense with this formula. So anyway, that's just my personal opinion of a formula that you could do on a calculator that makes up the perfect fucking physique for a bodybuilder. And again, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think I'm way off, you think I lost my fucking mind. You're gonna tell me that regardless, but anyway, take care.